Hello everyone, this is Joseph and Crystal. We're going to make two recipes for you tonight. We're going to use this intro on both videos because I'm lazy like that. We are going to make tiramisu, which is an Italian dessert, and it is delicious. It's not that hard to make, and you make it the night before. We're also going to make a Philippine recipe, which is called Lechon Kawali, which is basically, it's made from the same cut you make bacon out of, which...
Pork belly.
Yep, it's made from the pork belly, just like what you make.
It's like liempo.
Okay.
Liempo in the Philippines. It's liempo in the Philippines.
Crystal currently has me on a low-carb diet, trying to help me lose some weight, which we're doing fairly well at. And this is one of the recipes that we're doing that has low carbs. I know some of you are going to probably talk about it being deep fried and how that's probably not good for me, or the salt that's in the rub we use. You can't have low sodium, you can't have low carbs and low sugars. You got to have something. So we're going to get started.
But tiramisu is not low carb, just so you know.
No,
guys.
Tiramisu is not. That's a request from a friend of ours that we're going to eat dinner with tomorrow, and he requested tiramisu. And since I like making desserts, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. We also finally found some ladyfingers locally, to where I was able to get 2 packages of it. So now's a great time to make some tiramisu. So we're going to stop this one and put it to both videos, and we will walk you through the process. We are making both of these simultaneously, so it should be fun. All right.
Yeah.
Look forward to you guys joining us. All right. Bye. All right. So the first piece that we're going to start with is this is our pressure cooker pan. We are going to get our pork belly started pressure cooking. We bought a 3-pound block yesterday. We made it once as a trial before we did the video. We got this from Publix and we requested it. However, the Publix meat department really ticked me off. If you see, all of this is nothing but skin. We paid for the skin and didn't get any belly meat with it. But we're still going to go ahead and cook it. We're going to cut that off and use that for a different recipe, and we're going to show you guys the recipe with just this part. We are going to pressure this for 30 minutes in our pressure cooker. We're going to take it out.
No, 20 minutes.
The boss says 20 minutes. We're going to take it out of the pot, let it cool, season it, and then we're going to deep fry it. So I'm going to pause you and bring you back when it's done.
Okay.
Alright, so the boss said go ahead and cut the extra skin off, so we did. We have it set up in our pressure cooker. What it is basically we have just enough water in there to where it will, when flattened out and thawed a little bit, it will be able to be cut out. She's putting in 5 dried bay leaves in the water. And again, in the Philippines, this is normally boiled first.
Yeah.
It's normally boiled first, but now we are just going to pressure cook it because it's quicker. How long do you normally boil it for?
30 minutes.
So they boil it for 30 minutes in the Philippines. But in my personal opinion, using a pressure cooker makes the meat a little more tender and not quite so rubbery like when you boil it. So this is the way we're going, because we can set this going and turn around and do the tiramisu and just completely ignore it. But, okay, so
Put salt.
She's going to put some salt in it. How many tablespoons? Or is that a teaspoon?
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon of salt. So
There you go, thank you.
we need to put rice in our salt shaker. Absorb some of this Georgia moisture. One in a pinch.
Okay, there you go. And then let it...
Then we're going to get it set, and we'll bring you back in a little bit once it's done. All right, so our pressure cooker has went off, and we've removed it from the heat. We have brought it over here onto a plate to cool. So it's been cooling for a few minutes. let me give you a word of advice. If you're trying to do this, make sure you take a washcloth or a towel or paper towel or something. You want to dry all excess water. You shouldn't see anything splatter when you shake it. The reason I say this is you're going to put this into oil that is 350 degrees at a minimum, and if there's liquid on there, I promise you this, you will get popped. When wet water...
That happened last night.
It happened last night. I forgot to explain that to Crystal, and when we did it, we put it in hot oil, and it started popping like crazy.
Yeah.
So, we're going to use Creole seasoning. This is what we really enjoy. It's got a good flavor to it.
But others put salt.
But other people do salt and pepper.
In the Philippines, they put salt.
In the Philippines, it's just straight salt. What we're going to do eventually, we want to try in the future, is we want to actually try doing an injection or soak this in marinade and see if we can get a good deep penetration in the meat. But that's for another video. That's an experiment. We're doing this. So she's going to give it a really good, generous rub.
And sodium to this is 290 milligrams.
Most of your seasoned salts, your all seasoning, your butt rubs, your pork rubs, whatever kinds of seasoning you like, sadly, a lot of it has sodium in it.
Yeah.
But got good flavor.
But there's free sodium. Remember yesterday when we went to Kroger? There's free sodium.
There's sodium free.
I mean, yeah.
There's sodium free stuff, or low sodium. There are lots of options for out there. This is just what we like. This is a really good seasoning that we enjoy, and
we both like it.
We both like it. So you see her, she's really working it in the cracks, trying to get it everywhere, and that's what you want. You want to just take your time, just like when you're doing your ribs, your dry rub on ribs. You just want to sit there and just work it everywhere that you can. All right, our oil is preheating over here. It's coming up to temperature. We need to wait for this to come up to temperature, and then we'll bring you back. All right, thanks. All right, guys, so we're back with the Lechon Kawali. We have it in oil that's 350 degrees. We put the skin side down first, and we are going to let it cook until we hear it no longer popping. Takes about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on the time. Once it calms down a little bit, we're going to flip it over and let it cook a little bit more. And then possibly, depending upon how crisp the skin is, we'll flip it over a third time. So this takes a little bit of time. You're not doing it at super high temperatures. You just want to maintain that oil temperature. We have a lid on it because since there is moisture in it, you see it popping. We don't want it to splash out and get onto our burner. So you're dealing with very hot oil. So make sure you use precaution and use common sense. So just be very careful. All right, guys, we'll bring it back in a little while when it's done with the first side. All right, guys, I'm dealing with hot oil, so I'm not always remembering to record the video. It's been about 8 minutes or so. We flipped that's the back of the skin that you see there. We have flipped it over now. And what's nice is right all underneath the oil, you're going to see it's still a little yellow and it's not golden. So we're going to let this go for a few minutes on this side. Then we're going to take it out, let it completely cool, and then we're going to cut it. So I'll bring y'all back for that. Alright, guys, so this is what it's looking like. You want a hard, crispy outside, and then you want it to be cooked. Now, it's a little darker than we would ideally want it, but it's good once you start cutting into it, and then you use the Filipino dip sauce. It gets really delicious. Alright, guys, we're going to cut it, and then we'll come back, okay? Alright, guys, so this is done. Crystal's just gotten done cooking it, and I don't know if you guys can hear this. It's crispy on the outside, but it's so tender and juicy. You see
Juicy.
Juicy.
Juicy
You see
in the inside.
Yes, baby. You see the liquid. It's delicious. So we're going to try in the future, like I said, we want to try doing a marinade, soak this, or doing an injection. But you can see just from pressure cooking it how tender it is. So what we do is we just cut this up into small fingerling sizes, like this.
Can you hear that? It's super crisp.
This is doesn't take too long to do. It's not that labor intensive of a recipe, and it's just delicious. You know.
Sorry, I'm not the expert.
Crystal, it's delicious. It tastes good.
Maybe cutting it.
You're fine at cutting it, baby. You haven't cut your fingers, so that's good. If you guys could smell this, you could smell that Creole seasoning. It just smells delicious. So, again, I'm very well aware that this grease and stuff is probably not good for me. But, neither is half the food we eat in America, but this is good. One of the benefits of having a Filipino wife that knows how to do some delicious cooking.
Uh-huh.
Alright, guys. Like and subscribe. Give us some thumbs up. If you guys like seeing this, it's been in the video, baby. If you guys like this, then please give us thumbs up, and we will make more.
You can put any sauce like ketchup. What I will always do is soy sauce and vinegar, and that's it. And so delicious. And then, because in the Philippines we always eat rice every meal, so I will eat this with rice. So I will might eating heavy dinner tonight.
Alright, if you guys have requests for Filipino dishes, send in a request and we'll see if we can't do it. Alright.
It's good.
Please leave comments below, guys. Thanks.